So the first thing that came into my mind is what will I speak on this topic, preoperative drawing and the significance of preoperative drawing. But then I realized how important fundus examination by indirect ophthalmoscope is preoperatively, which we learned in our residency days at Shankar Nethralaya. So I'll just highlight some of the points how this fundus drawing becomes significant. And nowadays I've seen surgeons who are doing all types of surgery without doing any drawings preoperatively. In my setup, we generally have residents who do the drawing. And so first of all, retinal detachment, as we all know, is the separation of neurosensory retina from RPE. And rhegmatogenous retinal detachment is a detachment caused by a retinal break. And the main aim of the fundus drawing is to highlight these breaks in a preoperative period, is to highlight these breaks and find these breaks, where these breaks are, because these breaks need to be treated, need to be closed while repairing a retinal detachment. And these breaks could be, these breaks do appear as discontinuities in the retinal surface, and they appear red because of the color contrast between the neurosensory retina and the underlying choroid. And there are various forms of these breaks. They could be in the form of horseshoe tears or percolated breaks, holes, dialysis, or giant retinal tears. So those horseshoe tears, just a minute. You can see these horseshoe tears, they occur in almost 7 to 10% of cases of PVD, and they are due to traction. And many of them, or most of them, progress to retinal detachment within 6 weeks. The holes generally are seen in association with retinal with lattice degenerations, and they are present in almost about 18 to 40% of cases of lattice degenerations, and 30% of the RDs are caused by holes in lattices. And dialysis, again, post-traumatic dialysis. If the patient gives you a history of post-trauma, you have to do an indirect ophthalmoscope. You have to look for the dialysis, and this is one major indication of doing an indirect ophthalmoscopy in a post-traumatic patient. As already, I think it has been discussed, for a fundus drawing, we used an Amsler-Du Bois chart. And I think it has already been discussed in a previous slide how to do a drawing. And this is a cartogram of universal color coding. So now I come to the significance. First significance, and I think that is one of the most important, is, sorry, to keep a good clinical record for diagnosis and planning treatment and follow-up of the patient. So this is, you see, this is the one of the most significant part why you have to do a fundus drawing. You have to keep a good clinical record of the patient. And then this drawing helps in picking up many other features which you routinely don't pick up doing a routine indirect ophthalmoscopy in your clinic. But when you spend time doing a drawing, you may pick up much more than what you see while you saw the patient in the clinic. And this helps you plan your treatment, change your treatment, and also plan the follow-up with the patient. Again, post-operatively, you have to keep a record. Second important significance is of fundus drawing before surgery is to enhance communication between different healthcare professionals. If you are associated with other people, you may discuss your cases with them. If you send a proper fundus drawing to him, take a picture of the fundus drawing, the other person may also be able to guide you what is to be done. And it will be a better option rather than sending a fundus photograph, which won't give you such a good clinical picture. And in cases of media, this fundus drawing becomes very important. Again, clinical records like fundus drawings are also valuable documents to audit the quality of healthcare services and research. So in our setup, once we were doing a study, a retrospective analysis of a patient, we generally nowadays we do vitrectomy as a primary procedure for retinal detachment. So I wanted to know which patient had how many breaks, and in which quadrants the breaks were located. So we were easily able to retrospectively analyze our data that, okay, this patient had 2 breaks and these were located in different quadrants, or these were located in the same quadrants, just because we had a good fundus drawing with us. So if you don't do a preoperative fundus drawing, you may be missing such clinical record or such important information if you are doing a research later on the in various categories. Again, another important reason for a fundus drawing is for medical legal issues. And what is usually said is if you have not documented it, it means you have not seen it. And but if you have a proper fundus drawing done, it means that you have properly seen the patient, you have properly examined the patient, and this carries a lot in medical legal departments. Again, documentation, as I already pointed out, doing a fundus drawing, it helps. It improves your observational skills because we draw what we see. As I told you, only if you look at the fundus, doing an indirect ophthalmoscopy in a clinic is a lot different than what you draw when you are properly making a fundus drawing. You see a lot more than what you see when you are examining the patient in the clinic. Again, it gives better information as compared to a fundus picture. You see, this was a fundus picture. This was a collage made by my associate, and though she was able to pick up all the lattices and holes in this picture, but a simple fundus drawing highlighted where all these lattices were located and how many holes were present and what we had to do. This is a small video I would like to show. This is just because this was a simple patient of a superior retinal detachment. We took the patient up for a vitrectomy and gas, and we did. This was a tear. There were two of them, and we did drainage of the internal drainage of the fluid, and then we were supposed to finish off this case. And at this point of time, I took a look at the fundus drawing, and I remembered that there was another hole in the retina, in an attached retina. So because I had a fundus drawing in my hand, I memorized this thing and I was able to treat it at the same time and did not miss the break. Again, planning of some surgical steps will also depend upon your fundus drawings. Here you can see this was a patient of inferior retinal detachment with a break at 6 o'clock. And and when I looked at the fundus drawing and looked at the patient, I had already made a plan that I have to drain the SRF drainage in this quadrant at this point. So this also helps in planning of surgical steps. Again, decision making is very important. You can see in the left hand side there is a simple retinal detachment, inferior retinal detachment. I will probably do a buccal with an external drainage in this patient. While looking at this drawing in the second, in the middle, a superior HST with a bullous retinal detachment. I planned for a vitrectomy with gas, and the last patient in which there were multiple tears all around, and there was, means that there is some element of circumferential traction. I planned a vitrectomy with encerclage. And now coming to the location, identifying the location of primary breaks, you can see this is according to the Linkoff's rules. You see this is a subtotal retinal detachment, and what Linkoff tells us that 98% of the time the break will lie within 1.5 clock hours of the highest border. So just by looking at the configuration of the retinal detachment, you can make out where the retinal break would be. And again, this is inferior detachment with equal height, and the break will usually lie between 5 and 7 o'clock position. And this is inferior detachment with unequal heights, and the inferior break is located in the higher quadrant, the quadrant in which the fluid is higher. Again, superior detachments that cross 12 o'clock position, many of the times the break will lie in the triangle which is formed by the 11 o'clock, optic disc, and the 1 o'clock position. And in inferior bullous detachment, and just looking at the configuration, if the detachment is inferior and is bullous, we generally have to look superiorly, and there could be a shallow peripheral sinus with the break in the superior quadrant connecting the break to the retinal detachment. And then it helps in visualization problems during surgery in the cases of decentered IOLs or in severe capsular fibrosis, vitreous tags, leaking incisions, hampered visualization, corneal edema, and small pupils. I remember one case I was doing vitrectomy, and during vitrectomy, the pupils became small and the view became very hazy. And but due to the fundus drawing that I had in my hand, I knew exactly where the break was, and I was able to successfully manage this patient. So to conclude, precise documentation is essential for multiple reasons. Mostly important, accurate surgical planning. And a detailed drawing improves our observational skills, and the notes made during the drawing of fundus can often provide more details than photography alone. Thank you.